Kick the red, double move on the red. Yo everybody, how you doing? King Dan right here, and I hope you're having a good day today. Me, I'm just chilling, getting ready to smoke a nice stogie. I figured I'd invite you over to see if you want to come and have one with me. You want to have a stogie? Come on, come on. Let's have a stogie. Let's talk a little bit. Let's talk a little bit Eagle stuff, because I got a lot to say. As usual, I always got a lot to say. I'm King Dinkbat. So, the first thing I'm going to say is this. Welcome to the Victory Room, where we come to celebrate Super Bowl wins, Super Bowl performances, victories, wins, fun things. I don't know, brainstorm, talk about aliens, talk about all goofy stuff, people watching people pooping dog in the yard, all that stuff. What did I just say? Who knows? But here's the thing. I want to talk some Eagles, so let's light this bad boy up. The taste of victory. I can never get sick of that, ever. Now, we got to talk about the Eagles, okay? I want to talk about the Eagles and the free agency that they've had so far, because I think it's been nothing short of genius. I think it's been nothing short of genius. I know some people have complained that they've done too much. Some people have complained that they haven't done enough. But I think the Eagles are playing it perfect. They're playing it perfect, and they put themselves in the best position for the big trade that's coming. Because let me tell you, there's a big trade coming. That may not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but if the Eagles don't make a trade by the end, or by the time the draft is over with, I would be shocked. And I'm not talking about a little trade here or there. I'm talking a significant big trade that we're all going to look at and go, man, this really takes the Eagles over the top next year. This really is the answer to all the things that the Rams and the Vikings and everybody else has done to come after the Eagles. I expect that to happen. But before we can get into what it is and what I'm thinking, we need to look at some things in the NFL. The first thing is the Jets. The New York Jets, they make a giant trade, right? They make a huge trade to get up to number 3. Now, shout out to Jets Central. He was so excited. If you haven't heard of his channel or haven't seen him, definitely go check him out. I'll put his link in the description. Shout out to you, Jets Central. He was so excited about what the Jets did, okay, that it was just awesome. It was awesome to see. It reminded me of the Eagle fans when we got the 2nd pick overall to get a quarterback. He knows that the Jets are in a position to change their franchise for the next 10 to 15 years, okay? That's what a franchise quarterback means. Now, the great thing about what the Jets did is they basically screwed the Buffalo Bills, because the Bills had 2 first-round picks. They traded their tackle away to get an extra first so that they could jump up to the top of the draft and get one of the quarterbacks. Well, guess what? The Jets beat them to it. The Jets beat them to it, and you got to give the Jets credit on this one. It was the right move. Now, Buffalo they're in a tough position, because I don't see how they're going to be able to get a top 4 to 5 pick right now, okay? The only team they have a chance, in my opinion, to trade with is the Giants. And I think the Giants, with what their new coach is and the tree of Andy Reid that he comes from, I can't imagine the Giants not taking a franchise quarterback at 2. I mean, it's possible, but I would be shocked. I really would be shocked, because they got Wentz to play against. They got Prescott. They got Goff. They got a lot of teams got young quarterbacks. The Giants need a young quarterback. When are they going to pick 2 again? I've talked about this before. So I don't see the Giants trading with the Bills, or it would take so much for the Bills that they can't do it. Then you have the Cleveland Browns, who have 4. They could trade. I don't think so. I think they take the quarterback 1, they take Barkley 4, and they're good to go. So I don't think the Buffalo Bills can get up and trade or draft a quarterback. I don't think they could do it. So they're really, really in a bad position. The Jets beat them to it. They double moonwalk their ass. Poop in my yard. It's stupid dogs. This lady's always raw around her stupid dog. I hate it. Anyways, I have time for her. But where was I? So Bills are screwed, right? What are they going to do? What are they going to do? I'm telling you what they're going to do. They're going to sit there and go, what do we do now? We don't really like any of the quarterbacks that will be at 12 when we pick. What should we do? You know, Nick Foles, we offered the Eagles, we tried to lowball the Eagles before. Maybe we should call them again. So they're going to call the Eagles up and be like, yo, how Rose, how you doing, man? This is the Bills and we stink, but we need a quarterback. I mean, what did they sign? A.J. McCarron? He stinks. He's not your answer. So what are they going to do? They're going to say, look, we'll give you a first-round pick for it. We'll give you, what is it? I think they picked 21st. If it's not the 21st, then I'm sorry, but I know it's somewhere around there. But the Bills draft, they're going to offer their first. And the Eagles are going to say, no, we don't want that first. We want the 12th pick overall. We want the 12th pick overall. And you know what? Because of the way the Eagles have handled this whole free agency period, and because they didn't rush to trade Nick Foles, the Eagles could ask for more now. The Eagles could ask for what they want. What's the worst going to happen? Buffalo says, too much for us? All right, see you later. Works for the Eagles because you know why? The Eagles play Minnesota Vikings week 1, Thursday night. It'll be Thursday night football game. It'll be the season opener. And the Eagles are going to host the Vikings, which I knew it was going to be the Vikings. I said that in an earlier video. I knew it would be them. But the Eagles might not have Wentz week 1. Who knows? You put Nick Foles in. You let him tear up the Vikings. Foles, right? He tears them up. Vikings are going, oh, crap. What do? We should have traded for Foles. Instead, we went and got Kirk Cousins, and he stinks. No, Kirk Cousins doesn't stink. I'm just kidding, Minnesota Vikings. Don't have a heart attack, Viking fans. Come on, Frank. Don't get upset, Frank. All right, Frank. It's okay. Vikings, I'm just giving you a hard time. But what I'm saying is truth in that the Eagles don't need to get rid of Foles. If they don't get rid of Foles, I'm okay with that. I love Nick Foles. If he's there as insurance, beautiful. Okay? So if Buffalo says, we don't want Foles, the Eagles say, fine, we'll keep him. You know what'll happen. You know something could happen. You have preseason. You have games going. You have a trade deadline. It's very possible, right? It happened with Sam Stinkford. Somebody gets hurt. They trade for Nick Foles. They offer a ton. Nick Foles comes out. He plays a few weeks. Then Wentz comes back in and he's healthy. The Eagles trade him at the trade deadline. Look what the 49ers did with Garoppolo, right? If you think Foles can't get more than Garoppolo, come on. So the Eagles are in a great position because the worst thing that they could have done was rush to trade Foles for a lower price. They let the market dry up, and now he's more valuable. And if nobody takes him, nobody wants him, he's still really valuable, and he's a perfect fit to be the Eagles' backup quarterback. It's a win situation for the Eagles, okay? It's a win situation. The Eagles have gotten better in a lot of ways. You hear the dog? Here she is. The ladies are pooping, peeing in my yard. Gonna go poop in those people's yard. That guy's gonna get pissed off. He's gonna put a sign up again. Anyways, so Foles, if he stays, win-win for the Eagles. By not trading Foles too soon, which was a danger, the Eagles have increased his value, and they've done a great job. And look, the Eagles have done a great job, I think, so far. You have Michael Bennett. He's an improvement from Vinny Curry. You have Hatoli Nado. I know I'm pronouncing it wrong, but I think he's an improvement off of Allen. So the only real hole that I see that I think is a legitimate hole is that wide receiver spot, which I keep talking about. Now, some people think Mac Hollins. Some people think Mac Hollins should start and get the opportunity. Me personally, I like Mac Hollins. I'm not ready to just hand him the spot in year 2. If I bring somebody else in and he beats them in preseason, then he earned it. But otherwise, I would try to give Matt Collins one more year before I move him over there. And I would try to get a burner, okay? And the Eagles have put themselves in a great position to do that, you know, by not rushing everything. Sometimes you have to be patient. Sometimes you have to wait things out. And that's what the Eagles have done so far. So the Eagles will make big moves. The big move will come. I think they will upgrade that wide receiver spot significantly. I think people are going to be surprised. But the Eagles, by not being desperate, have increased the value of what they have to trade in Nick Foles, in draft picks, in other guys that they may be thinking about. It's a very smart thing for the Eagles. So we're going to see what happens. It's going to be interesting. But the way the Eagles have handled Nick Foles is a beautiful thing. It's a great sign that the Eagles are on top of their game. And I expect the big trade to happen. Now, if I was the Buffalo Bills, I would be calling the Eagles going, I'll give you the 12th pick for Nick Foles. Because personally, I believe Nick Foles could win you Super Bowls. He's already proven it. So we'll see what happens. But like I said, the Eagles have put themselves in a position that Foles is worth even more than he was after the Super Bowl or 2 weeks ago. The draft picks will be worth more. Players on their roster, the guys that they may be thinking of trading, the Kendricks, these guys, they're all worth more because the free agency market is drying up, okay? And when you have teams like the Rams and the Vikings and all these teams that are running out to improve, okay, the Eagles do have to answer it. There are some people who think that if you win a Super Bowl, you should not change a thing about what you did. You should, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it. And I get the theory in that. But the thing is when teams go into the offseason, they all study you. They all try to figure out how to beat you. Then they go out and build a roster to do that. So you have to try to tweak stuff. You have to try to get better in certain areas. And like I said, the Eagles have done that so far, except for that wide receiver spot. I'd like to see them upgrade that significantly, and I'd like to see them get a better returner. But when teams are gunning for you and they're building their teams around you specifically, it went out. What are you going to do? But when they're trying to build teams to beat you, you have to tweak your team. You have to try to better it. And that's what the Eagles are trying to do. And oh, by the way, did you see Carson Wentz throwing with the brace? He looks good. He's way ahead of schedule. I'm telling you, the guy's going to be ready week 1 anyway, so it's not going to matter. But the Eagles, they're doing the right thing. They got their heads on right, and I think that they're going to do something big here. And I'm just ready for it. I'm waiting for it. And I'm trying to be patient because it's coming. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Okay, don't be a dickbag.